Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, people of Earth. I'm playing it on here again. Why do I keep doing this, people? I'm the most. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not very reliable. You know, I'm late, always late. The room's a mess. I'm unprepared. We were going to do a video about ancient civilizations. That, you know, I spent some good time on that thumbnail, people. Trying to blend Rich's head with Giorgio's beautiful hands. Giorgio's got rather long nails. But there has been a change of plan. And that is because there is not as many people joining the show as I had originally hoped. In fact, right now, for the very first time, I feel like an alien because I'm on my own to converse with you guys. Rich is about to join me any moment. Rich, wake up, Rich. He is about to join me. Lee is he's on his work due, so Lee said, "Oh, let's do a show Friday." Okay, Lee, yeah, that sounds good. He actually said, "Let's do a show." So I'm doing a show Friday, and Lee then messaged me. I'm on my I'm on my work due, and my kids are still awake. In fact, my wife is actually putting my children's those his presents. Oh yeah, it's his birthday tomorrow. Little turd. Babe, shut the door. Oh, you got more, have you? God, how many presents you bought him? Don't you dare come in here, you little toenail. Oh, thank you, darling. Appreciate that. You've been wrapping your brother's presents. He's still awake. He's still awake. So if you hear a whinge in the background, that's what it is. Don't worry, people. We are going to get onto you. Can somebody call Rich? Somebody call Rich. Tell him the show has started. In fact, just a second. I'm going to leave him a rather snotty voicemail. I'll just message him.
Here, Daddy.
Oh, is that for me? Thank you, darling.
That big one.
Okay. YouTube don't like children. Go on. Bugger off. They've gone. Message him, Rich. Here we go. Rich, the show started. I'm on my own with elves on the shelves. I would appreciate your face and body and spirit. Apparently, so Dark Skies. He's actually in the chat. He's at work, and his channel was taken out. People, so if you go back to my last video, you want to check out his new links. I've put them in the links. Go check him out. Go support his channel. Go subscribe. Another orb. And Scott didn't reply. He said he may be coming on, so he could just appear. We could just have a Scott in the room. But you've got me for now, a guy who's just a host that talks to people who are in the know about ufology. I am not. I have my own opinions. I have a glass of wine. I have a cold. This helps. But while I'm here with you people, you lovely people in the chat, we've got Caroline, who is an awesome, beautiful moderator. We've got Lee Guy. Lee, welcome to the channel, you bacon boy. He always puts bacon. We've got Brandy Phillips. I had a dog called Brandy. It died. We've got Mr. Spock, which is the Uber way. You was called Mr. Spock. First floor audio. You beautiful. First floor. Need to get you on sometime. He's a fun chap, him. Go check out his stuff. Go subscribe. Welcome to the show, Lee. We have welcome to the show, Lee. It's not like me to do this stuff, but when I'm on my own, I've just got to pull a show out my backside. Darkest Corner, welcome, my friend Uber Barbie. I love that name. IR Film, Samantha. Jesus Christ, I think I'm learning to read. I am actually learning to read. This is good for me. This is actually good practice for Rich just to know nobody to turn up to a show. There's a conspiracy here that's take Alien out with one. No, you know what? This will make me stronger. Sir Wolf, how you doing, my friend? 12 feet tall. Welcome. And David, just classic. I like that. Somebody's name in one of the subscribers, just plain old David with a line underscore underneath it. Welcome, David underscore TV invert. That's a strange name. An inverted TV. Yeah. Anyway, people, welcome. I want to. This is the plan. This is the plan for Alien Addict. So I may as well just kind of like flick it to you right now. I want to get more emails. Now I'm getting emails in of like UFO sightings. Kind of not that channel anymore. If one's spectacular, I will pop it up. If it's just a dot in the sky, the chances are I'm not going to talk about it. But I do want, like the classic, when I first started doing the semi-live edited stuff, I want your stories. I need your stories. I thrive off your stories. Without you, I am nothing but just one guy that's extremely pale with a beard that likes aliens and UFOs and paranormal and all that strangeness that goes on in the world. So that is my email, people. I'm going to leave it up until Rich joins. Rich, somebody ring that man. I need that little thing on my phone that has anybody seen Richie? But a lot has been going on apparently in Richie's world. Apparently Twitter has been calling him all sorts of names. So we're here to defend the man, you know. We look after our own here. How is everybody anyway? Are we all? If we have any stories, you know, that's what I want. This email right here is my email. If I've spelt it right, alienaddictuk@gmail.com. You can email that and email me your story, so I can then get you on the channel to converse with you and to make enlighten people to other people's stories, because maybe somebody else has a story like you. Maybe somebody else from seeing your story will then have the guts to just come on and tell their story, and then we can spiral this out of control, you know, and get more people talking about the subject, because it needs to be talked about. Because I think we're only just kind of like doing baby steps at the moment. I think we're onto something, people, with this whole mixing the paranormal in with ufology. That's the key. I do believe that very much so. I really wanted to do a show about the ancients, but I barely survived through school. So if you had me talking about ancient aliens, ancient civilizations, advanced civilizations, it would be a show for people to mock. As you know, I like to speak to the guests. I like to absorb the guests' knowledge. I like the drama. I like to have a rant. I'm not wisdom. I'm not there to give you that. That's not this channel. If you're here for that, you're in the wrong place, people. I just get the clever people on. And I drink water and red wine, fizzy water and red wine, because you gotta take the rough with the smooth. Anyway, Merry Christmas, my sexual warriors. You all are. Another Rob. It's just dust. You do know that. My wife doesn't clean. Just making sure she's not there. I don't know if you actually saw My Little Warrior then, but I think you might have saw a bit of blonde hair like Macaulay Culkin. Oh, he was a little twat, wasn't he, Macaulay Culkin? Cool guy now, though. But back then, I don't know. Rich, where are you? What are you doing? Somebody get that. He is coming. I've literally spoken to him about. In fact, let me play the message from him. Might not be supposed to.
We should talk about the new office, the AOIMSG, and how I'm being attacked on Twitter, and I was right.
See, he's saying stuff. Ginger Steve to the rescue, and he knows I'm on my own, and he gives me a long-winded. Let's see if I can read this. Is there a difference between? Oh, Jesus Christ, Stephen, I hate you, but thank you for the £4.49. Is there a difference between pan-dimensional beings and aliens? A creature that can appear in the form. Scott Browne, you god! You sexy man, you. You have saved my bacon. Scott, you might be able to answer this. Is there a difference between pan-dimensional beings and aliens? A creature that can appear in front of you with no movement. I don't really know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I've heard of. I mean, dimensional beings.
Yeah,
Definitely.
right. I mean, it seems like they're always coming up with different. You've got.
Oh no, dimensional. I think he means demons. I think he's made a typo there. Has he made a typo? Is that just my dyslexic eyes?
Pan-dimensional. I think, yeah. In some countries, that's how they spell demons.
Okay, well, Steve's British, so I'm dyslexic, Steve. Unless he's testing me, he's definitely testing me.
Yeah, I've never heard that term.
Scott, we were doing a show tonight on. There's been kind of a little bit of a change up, only because I didn't know who was there was. We were supposed to have Dark Skies. There were a couple of others coming on to join us as well, which I wanted to have the open forum on the ancient civilizations of Earth that have possibly disappeared. I don't know how much we might dabble it a bit into that, but I don't know if there's going to be enough. I think there's just going to be me, you, and Rich Giordano. Have you got Rich Giordano's number?
I don't.
I've got his number. I'm going to ring him. I'm going to ring him live.
He's probably napping.
Oh. It rang, and then it just went some strange noise. He might be in the. He may be in the shower. He may be in the shower. Some people do that before a show. But
Right.
how you been? Are you? So Rich tells me there's something going on Twitter. He's been attacked. Are you into the whole Twitter thing?
Yeah, I use it a lot.
What's going on with UFO Twitter? Is it hostile?
It's really that's broken down into camps, and kind of some people say it's like cliques, like high school. If you belong to one camp and there's somebody that has a disagreement within another camp, you can't belong to that camp, and there's a lot of that on Twitter. It's really just unproductive. People going at each other over and over again. It's crazy. I mean, one minute you're friends with someone, the next minute you can't stand each other, so it sucks. It sucks.
B. Baker, thank you. Rich, we will see you in a moment. I see. I don't read stuff enough. I should read more. But because of the busy day job and all sorts of stuff pops up on Twitter, and I'm just like, what's going on? I only see the little bits of background stuff. I appreciate the shares, people, and everything, but kind of the YouTube comment section and what have you. That's my thing. And even that recently, I've not even been able to keep up with because I've been that busy in the day. But Scott, what do you fall on a Pacific side when it comes to this UFO Twitter thing? You know, are you like the man in the middle? And do you see both sides, or do you just
Yeah.
see this pointless ranting?
I try to stay neutral. I mean, if somebody's got a good point to make and they've got information, you know, it's a lot of people find it hard not to, you know, shove their facts in this person's face and say, look, you know, you're posting this crap and I know this and I know that. And I'm guilty of it myself. I've done it myself, but I'm trying to handle that better now and try to maybe educate people in it. And if they're adverse to me, maybe trying to feed them some good information, then, you know, that's fine. I just back away and, you know, that's, we can agree to disagree is my favorite term. People should use it a lot more. We can still disagree, but we can still be friends. I mean, Rich and I, we disagree on some things, but we're still, you know, we're still friends. So
well, that's a healthy relationship when it comes to this subject. Because you just said then you'll give some good information. But I mean, how do we even know it's good information? You know, do you mean just some factual evidence of what somebody's presented, or into? I think when we're discussing UFOs and aliens as a field, a lot of the time we are just guessing, or we're just getting the factual information from where an event took place or what's going on in the world when it comes to this subject. But when it comes to people, what I have seen on UFO Twitter is people spurting out facts, what they think of facts about extraterrestrials and about UFOs, which my answer to anybody that's doing that is, how the hell do you know what you're talking about?
you know, it's after, you know, 30 plus years doing this, like I always tell people I'm only sure of two things. One, that there's something out there that's not us. And two, there's some kind of agenda going on. It's got some kind of relationship with us. What that is, I don't know, you know, beyond that. If I present a case like we did the Travis Walton thing, you know, we only presented facts. The theory was really what the facts were built around. And people can take the theory and just throw it out if they want, but we got to have facts. Got to, you know, just the facts, man. I think was a famous saying on some cop show. You know, it's got to be the facts. Rich loves facts.
Nothing but the truth and the whole truth, so help you God.
Is this on? Hello?
Testing.
Can you believe it, man? We were just talking. I fell asleep.
Yeah, did you really? Did you really? Or did you just sit back chuckling your fucking ass off?
No, I don't like doing this to you.
See, I was literally about 5 minutes just ranting, Rich.
I heard
You know something though? So, Rich, I've changed the video up. It's not. I mean, we can talk. We can dabble a little bit because I think a few people did expect us to talk a little bit about, you know, your head in Giorgio's arms.
Hey, look at me there. I look good, right?
You do. You do.
No, I don't. Something's wrong with me.
I literally put together a thumbnail in 6 minutes. So there
Why?
we go.
What was wrong with the other one?
Well, because I expected a few other people in, and I think we could save that. We could save the flavor.
Yeah.
I think I only wanted to do that because I watched the latest Joe Rogan with Jimmy. What's his name? Surname? The guy. I've just been watching it. Just finished watching it. Jimmy Corsetti. Jimmy Corsetti from. I forgot the channel name. The channel is called Bright Insight. Go check it out.
Insights, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Bright Insight?
Yeah, I sent you the link today, Rich.
Bright Insights.
Oh, okay.
In Bright Insights, yeah, fantastic.
He's also friends with Brian Forrester, and if you want to check out some awesome stuff, Brian Forrester's got an awesome channel.
Yeah, I just interviewed Forrester.
You did.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I gave it to my Patreons though, so I'm gonna post it on my channel any day now.
Well, I did think I haven't seen it, but I know you told me you were going to interview him.
Yeah, I did.
So, how did that go? For anybody that hasn't seen it, when's it coming out on the channel? Did you give it? That's a nice thing to do, mate. So that's like, did you give it to? Are you giving it to the patrons like a month early?
Yeah. They've had it for a month, so that's what happens.
I need to do something like that. Copyright strike.
I don't know who that was. Why somebody from Texas would be calling me, but
it could be.
I thought I had
the
the
UFO Twitter.
See, and I usually have the ringer off because the show's on, and I don't want people calling me during the show. And then when I turn it on, I forget to turn it off. So that's why it was on. But the good thing it was on because B. Baker called me, tell me, well, what are you doing? He woke me up. Did you just hear that?
I did hear that.
Yeah, that was me.
You son of a...
I
thought I was hearing things. That was me.
No, I had to mute it.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were doing like
this?
Yeah.
You're ventriloquism? Yeah, I don't do it that much anymore.
So, Rich, what's happened? Let's go straight into it.
With
what's
what?
happened on Twitter? With UFO Twitter?
Yeah. So, I said since day one that Lou said he was going to help get this office and the permanent office and replace the UAPTF with this transparency office and and in the DOD at the Pentagon. And I've been saying since day one he made that announcement, no, he won't. Nope. Never. He may get the office. There won't be any transparency. So that happened, as you all know, the AOIMSG, which really is not going to be transparent. Am I right, Scott? Am I wrong on this, that it's all BS now? They took it all away from us?
I'm not buying a single thing they say.
So I guess that's a yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just want confirmation because, I sometimes lose my mind. So I put on Twitter today bragging about it. Hey, man, I was the only one who said this, that, and the other, that this would never happen. And UFO Twitter doxed me, attacked me, threatened me, said I was an idiot. And, looks like I was right. And then I said, can I say it? I told you so. So then I got people coming after me for that and saying, you're so self-obsessed with yourself. You don't care about anything else. Da, 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 da.
Oh, my God.
So I started tweeting a lot after that. I put out several other tweets and just poking the bear.
Well, I supported the comment, Rich, and I put underneath it, I've been saying it for 30 years.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet because I fell asleep. But
yeah, so people are just, you just can't say anything out there because there's always going to be people who are going to attack you. It's ridiculous.
For doing nothing wrong, just for having an opinion. I'm like, all I did was have an opinion, and they come after you like they say, oh, let's all be nice to each other, kumbaya with Twitter. We'll make this place great, and they're so opposite of that.
Yes.
They're very angry. This
Yep.
generation of UFO Twitter. I don't even know if it's dumb guns anymore. Just dumb.
I want to stay on this. Stephen, Ginger Steve, I am going to come to that in a second because Rich has a good theory about this, which you may like, about the AI and possibly living in a matrix. But thank you for the £4, and 49 pence. And Dorothy, thank you again for helping out with the cause. I appreciate that. But Steve, yes, we will come to that in just a second. But so, do you, with this UFO Twitter, because I use the words UFO, #UFO Twitter, probably not knowing what I'm getting myself into when it comes to Twitter, because Twitter is a little kind of it can be a painful place, I've heard, if you read things, and I don't read things.
You got
So-
all kinds there, yeah.
Yeah.
So how? But so these people are just. It's like when it comes to ufology, there is a left and a right.
I know. I've been saying that, like Scott said, for 30 years. No, I've been saying it forever too. Well, it has gotten more politicized than any other time that I can remember because of Lou. I think. Am I wrong? I mean, Scott,
No,
help
I
me out a
totally
little
agree.
bit at least. I mean, am I wrong on that?
think,
Or it's
you
always
know,
been.
When the article came out in 2017, it spurred on a lot of these younger guys saw that. They jumped in the mix. There's a lot of them on UFO Twitter. That's when it began. And, you know, I applaud them for what they're trying to do, or at least what they think
Yeah.
they're trying to do. But the bottom line is this: you can write your representatives, you can call all your politicians, you can do all of that stuff. That is not going to do a damn thing. And we are not going to see that information. They're not going to give it to the public. And people keep, harping on it like, oh, you're anti-disclosure and you're whatever. You know what? No, I'm not. I've been around long enough to see that they've lied hundreds, thousands of times to the American public over and over again with all different kinds of things. So if you're going to take the most sensitive thing that we have and you're going to expect them to just drop that in your lap and say, hey, guess what, kids? UFOs and aliens are real and they're flying around our planet. They're not going to do that. It's just not going to happen.
And with all the mainstream media play it's gotten over the last couple of years, no wonder why it's so politicized now more than ever, too.
Right.
Because when we know who's running, mainstream media,
right,
it's the same people that are, controlling everything.
So that will kind of lead me into Steve's question here about do you believe the world could ever be recreated with an AI? Right now, I think a lot of these platforms that we're using, I mean YouTube especially, and AI is controlling it. But I think the question he's asking is, do you actually think, and I want to ask you this, Rich, because you've spoke about matrix theory so many times on your channel, on my channel. Do you think that with I think this is what he's asking, with the tech we have today, we could possibly create a real a human simulation almost?
I don't know, but with
play God.
Yes and no. I mean, we can still tell what's a computer-generated system to a degree. I mean, what are you asking then?
No, we can. So we can, but if we created it, I mean, even if these things, whatever they would look like, if we created, they wouldn't know what the real humans look like, if you know what I mean.
I do, because we created it.
Yeah, because we'd be God.
Right, I know. But the question is, do you believe this world could ever be recreated with an AI? Well, we just learned now that the quantum computing is real. Mm-hmm. So imagine where we're going to be in 10 years. Because that's what quantum computing does. It creates, and it can demonstrate everything in seconds, minutes, whatever. Instead of taking 20,000 years, it can do it in 10 minutes, something like that. So, yeah, it would be interesting, but I guess I'm missing the point here, because we've talked about matrix realities forever. So you're saying if we created it, how would we know? I mean, what am I not missing since I just woke up? What am I not hearing you say?
How long did you pass out for? Because literally I was speaking to you for about 10 minutes before the show, and then you...
That was it. Yeah, I must have passed out.
You just went?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I didn't sleep much. So anyway, what am I... Yeah, it felt like I slept all day. That's why I feel pretty good. That's weird.
I'll tell you what you are missing, Rich, is this show. I don't know where it's going to go, because it was going to be on the ancient aliens, on the ancient civilizations, because I thought there would be a big group of us, but there's just the three of us. So
Okay.
I don't believe it's enough of us to have that kind of debate.
Yes, it
And I,
is. I do it every night by myself. Look,
yeah, I know,
yeah.
but you're a talented man that looks
So
like
about,
Bono.
yeah, I can change the glasses if you want.
No, I love
mean,
them.
I could look like early Bono if you want.
I love the glasses.
So back to this Matrix thing. What if you were to answer it? How would you answer it? That question.
Well, me or Scott?
Whoever, Scott.
I believe that, you know, with the new research that they're doing, you know, and there's some pretty high level people saying that this environment that we live in could be a simulated environment. So I think the question he's saying, especially, could it ever be recreated with an AI to this fidelity, which means, I'm assuming he means with this type of detail, with this type of realism. I think if there was an AI that was intelligent enough, I believe it could be possible.
But if we created, forget our fidelity, if we created one that, say, I don't know, it looked like the latest Grand Theft Auto, how would these sprites know that they've not got as much detail as they should do? Because they would have never seen us.
Right. They don't know because they're programmed. They just do what they're programmed to do. So they don't have free will.
I mean, for all we know, we may be if we're an AI, we quite possibly could be missing loads of colors, you know, that are actually colors that we can't even see.
Yeah, I know. There's
or things that we can't see because our eyes aren't built for it.
Because we're computers. We're code.
So you're saying we don't even know what we are?
I don't think anybody could ever answer that question to say that you don't know that you're code or not.
Well, I believe that we are the original, and everything else we see is a copy. That's why we have paranormal. But even the copies could have copies of the copies and paranormal of the paranormal. So you're asking something that really has no answer. And the answer is we don't know. Yeah, it's endless. It's a rabbit hole of all rabbit holes, really.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to stay away from Twitter.
No. Why?
Because every time you speak about Twitter, Reggie, it sounds like it's a kind of a hostile place.
Yeah, it is for me, but not for everybody.
I don't know about Rich, but for me, I think it's approximately 450 people blocked.
Jesus.
And the reason is because if I post something and they come on and they want to discuss it or have some kind of like constructive opinion, I'm good. You know, I'll talk to them. But if they just come at me and say, you know, you're an asshole.
Guys, I got to go. Sorry. Hold on. Something's happening here. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. Something just fell in the other room.
The spoon.
A spoon.
It could be the spoon. It could be the spoon.
Yeah, so I mean, and I hate to do that, Ollie. I really do. I hate to block people. I'd rather have, you know, a good discussion. But some people don't know how to do that. They just want to push their opinion, you know, and they want to be, you know, adverse to whatever you're saying. And that's fine. I understand. But I mean, we can do this in an adult way. We can talk about it like adults. We don't have to be, you know, bashing the shit out of each other. It's stupid.
I can honestly say I've never blocked anybody. My mods have, but I've never actually blocked somebody on Twitter or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because I can't be bothered.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I'm that kind of person. I once had a guy in an old video I did that threatened to kick the shit out of me. He said he lived near me. I said that's fine. I said, you go ahead, pal. And, and I had a back and forth with him for about 3 days.
Yeah.
And eventually he gave up. So
I've had death threats.
I just find them funny, you know. I
I've
mean,
had people threaten me in private messages. They're going to come to my house, and you know, I just got in this just looking for the truth. I'm not out there to get in a fist fight on my front lawn about UFOs. You know.
I don't understand why people get so emotional about it. This is what fascinates. This is why I like to, and I said this when I was on by myself before you came on, Scott, that I am not a channel. I'm not a person of knowledge when it comes to ufology. I'm a person with an interest in the people.
Hmm.
I'm interested in the people in this field.
Right.
That's what I'm. Don't get me wrong. I'm interested in aliens. I'm interested in whatever the mechanics that they travel in. I'm interested in the paranormal. I'm interested in the subject as a whole.
Right.
But it's the people that tickle my fancy the most. You know, I like to hear from the people, from you guys, the people in the field, the people who are into ufology, people into the paranormal, the people that have the stories. Rich Northwood, by the way, you got an invite on Skype, my warrior. But yeah, I like to. I want more people to open up about the subject and about their experiences. I think that's the most important thing, and I think people pretending that they know everything when it comes to this subject because they've heard a few stories. I've done so much research. I mean, when it comes to research, especially with what I was going to talk about in the video with the ancients,
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of people are backtracking on a lot of history now, you know, especially when it comes to like things like the pyramids. Now, a while back, people were saying that the pyramids were built, you know, for the dead to put and they're finding out now that it was nothing to do with that.
Absolutely.
And it
And,
wouldn't. Why would you build that big structure just
well,
because somebody's died?
there's a guy named Christopher Dunn. He's an engineer. He's been on all the shows, Ancient Aliens. Really smart guy. He's written a few books, and his belief, and he's done experiments to prove this, is that the pyramid was a giant power plant, and it was generating power. And I can't remember exactly how, if it was like one chamber was filled with hydrogen. Uh, I'm not sure how it exactly goes. But his theory was that this power plant was generating power for the people that lived around there. It sounds outrageous and crazy, but you know, I think that there is a massive chunk of our history that is missing. And
Yeah.
I think that these scholars that are, I mean, you gotta look at it with some common sense. If you walk into a bookstore, let's say you go to Amazon and you put in books about pyramids, there are thousands and thousands of books about the pyramids, dozens of theories about how it was built. Now, if we're looking at something that's built by an ancient culture and we're throwing all these theories at it, well, that's a red flag right there. You know, to think about it, that we are so confused by how it was built that people keep coming up with theories about how it was built because we can't figure it out. That to me is very telling.
Rich Northwood, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, Ollie.
How you doing, my man?
Fine.
Merry
Good, and you?
Christmas on this
Yeah.
fine season.
It's been a while. Oh, we got
It
Rich,
has been
nice
a
to meet
while.
you.
Rich, Scott, Rich, and Rich. I think you've both met before.
Hi, Scott.
How are you?
What's up?
I'm good,
Where's
thanks.
my eyes?
Yeah, your hat's on, Rich.
Yeah, but my eyes aren't.
Well, Rich, we just started to discuss the pyramids. So we kind of, the original plan
Oh, right.
became a little bit on track there, because Rich Northwood, below me. Rich, I sent you a Skype with the original video, but it kind of changed up a bit because I didn't think we were going to have this discussion. But we can have it a little bit. Why not?
Mhm.
Are you into the whole ancient alien things? Or advanced civilization? Let's put it correctly.
It was the first thing that I read about aliens back in the 1970s. My mum had the book Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Daniken, which was a fascinating book, and had a lot of theories, things about the Nazca lines and the pyramids and lots of things like that. So it was fascinating, that one, yeah. So,
I've never read it, believe it or not.
It's great. It's great. It's got some really, really compelling ideas. There's one I remember of an Indian picture. It looks like somebody lying supine in a craft, with flames coming out of the bottom. It actually looks like somebody going up in a rocket. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but then it all got commercialized with the show Ancient Aliens that is still going to this day.
I know. It's not a big. The thing is, we weren't around then. It might be the case. It might not. It's another one of those, isn't it?
No, and I think if anything, history has taught us recently is that if something is there that we don't like, we destroy it. If somebody doesn't agree with anything to do with history, that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, yes, we shouldn't ever speak about this again. But however, when we destroy history, how are we ever going to learn from that? And I think, again, with somebody may have disagreed with something to do with the ancient Egypt, but I mean, we have no idea how those things were built. People may argue that and say, yes, we do, but we know we do not have any idea whether those stones, some of those stones came from, I think some of the stones came from over, am I wrong by this? Over the sea? And the boats couldn't actually even carry them, let alone the actual, the cuttings, which are like literally paper thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only boat that they uncovered in Egypt would not be in the least amount sufficient to carry one of these stones.
Yeah, there was a similar thing with Stonehenge as well, wasn't there?
I believe so.
Yeah. There are people with various theories as well about Stonehenge and what it is and what it turned out to be. But at the end of the day, we weren't there. We've got to wait until there's more evidence for it, and keep searching. But you just got to keep an open mind, haven't you? Really?
I don't think we're going to find it. I think the Vatican's hiding it all.
Possible. Yeah. I mean, this is a fascinating time as well, because with what's happening in America, so many sort of like movements that are going on that are trying to rewrite history as they go, and I do wonder whether what's happening with the UFO subject may eventually end up people trying to cancel parts of the past, write off parts of history. Again, when we decide there's an arbitrary line in history where everybody was evil beforehand and everybody's good after, I do think of ourselves as a group, quite as a progressive group. We're trying to progress our society on the lines of looking outward and trying to find more about the universe than we currently want to. We are the irritating progressives to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Aren't we? Aren't we?
I totally. Mr. Catfish, thank you very much for the $2, my friend. Yeah, abduct me any day. Take me away from this place. Rich, what you said with that and other Rich, I think that leads us into what's going on in ufology right now, because when we look back at the ancients and history that's long gone, that we can't find evidence for how things have been done. It does seem right now that things are starting to get rewritten when it comes to the subject of UFOs, aliens, and there is that new narrative, and it's almost like for some reason people are trying to change it up and change everything about what we think we know. Because I'm not going to say what we know, but everything we think we know about the subject. Everything seems to be changing of late, and people's attitudes seem to be changing. I mean, I have never, in my how many years since I was 15 years old, being into this subject, I have never seen a hostile environment. Me personally, I know you might disagree with Giordano when it comes to this field, but I've not seen a hostile environment, and I'm seeing a hostile environment over the last 5 years when it comes to this subject.
Yeah, and you can thank the far left for that. Thank you very much. I said it. I don't care. It's true. That's who's running the field. That's UFO Twitter. That's Lou. And that's all Lou gravitates to, are those people who will suck his ass and read the script alongside with him. It's our fault for those who disagree by not, getting together and standing up against it. I called my representatives. You know what? Didn't get a call back. No voicemail, nothing. I called here in Florida too. Nothing. It's all bullshit tactics. It's just to get our minds thinking we're actually doing something. It's all bullshit, and that's what's creating the animosity and the division among the community, is this false narrative that it really has nothing to do with other than covering up that China has some serious weaponry that we can't detect, nor can we survive if they decided to, attack us. I think that's what it's all about. I really do. And if you look at the timing of all these hypersonic tests and shooting down their own satellites, even Russia just shot down one of their old dead satellites, and proving they have technology that can go up into space too and shoot down. Our satellites will be attacked. It's going to happen. You'll see. When World War III starts, that's the first thing everybody's going after. Take out the communications. I think that's what they're scared of. I really do. I think we're on the cusp of something evil.
So, Rich, you really, and Lee, thanks for the bacon, and Abby, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that you're loving the show. But you really think it's China, Rich? You really think it's them that are running
Without
the show?
a doubt.
They've got the Tic Tac.
I don't know about that. I say that I think they do, but I don't know. They would have had to have had it. Now, here's my theory on the Tic Tac. I don't think there is one. How do you like them apples? I think it's a story made up by a couple of people. How many people came forward from 2004, 2019, the Eisenhower, the Nimitz? How many people? A handful. You can create a narrative with just a handful of people. You got Fravor from 2004. You've got, who's the other guy? The radar operators.
Oh, what's his name?
Kevin Day.
Kevin Day, who supposedly had a mental breakdown because nobody believed him. That's the kind of guy we have running our radar system. Sean Cahill, I think, is another one, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Then you got Ryan Graves. You got Alex Dietrich. And really, that's it. Where's the other people? Where's all these witnesses that were supposedly being invaded every day while they saw the Tic Tacs just about every day for 2 years? Really? Now, I think it's a made-up story. I've come to realize that we don't have any evidence of the Tic Tac. We only have their stories, and you can keep a secret and create a narrative with just 6 people. How hard is that? That's why Alex Dietrich didn't come until later, until we needed somebody to bring some confirmation of Fravor and the story that's being. I'm telling you, I am really hip to this. I think I'm right. I really do. I think it's a disinfo campaign.
She was scared to reveal her identity. I think that's why she went on unidentified, and I believe she was in silhouette, wasn't she? They changed her
Yeah,
voice.
because she was still working. She was still getting. Now she's retired, or whatever. Now she can talk about it.
She has come on now. Luke
Plus, it's part of the narrative.
Kardashian.
It's part of the narrative they want to give us. So of course they're going to talk. They shouldn't be talking about this stuff if they have NDAs and worked in the government with top secret shit. Nobody should be talking about this stuff. Come on, man. Everybody knows it.
Well, to stand a very popular UFO trope on its head, I'm going to say that I'll believe it's the Chinese when a Tic Tac lands on the White House lawn and Xi Jinping climbs out.
No, he's about the right size.
So I mean, what are you saying, Rich? Are you saying that?
I'm saying the whole thing is bullshit.
You're saying that the whole majority of ufology is bullshit?
No, the whole thing with ever since Lou, TTSA, since then, that narrative was brought around because what they want to do is they want to get in close with our allies. They want to know what everybody else has as far as their top secret stuff. I think that was the idea, is to get in close with Italy and France, even though we are, but officially as a government and having an office that they could work from makes it a super, you have everything around you. You have the media, you got the president's going to back you up if you have any interesting stuff to lie about. I mean, this is a really complex thing, but it's very simple to bring a hoax to everybody just to cover up that there are these supposed Tic Tacs, which are really the weapons of our enemies flying around our own airspace.
Maybe Patrick here with the $2 might be onto something, Rich, with this. Maybe Tom DeLonge does speak about exactly what you're speaking about in his book. Have you ever read a book from Tom DeLonge?
I'm like you. I don't read.
Okay.
No,
would you read one of Tom's books?
No.
I read a lot, and I would not.
Have you read one of Tom's books?
No.
Never even heard of him.
If you come on the channel, I'll read your book live.
I know. I may be going out on the ledge, but you know what? Alex Jones did, and he was right about a lot of stuff. And really, he did it with common sense. I mean, he's much better than I am. But if you look back at all of this, there's not a lot of people that are running this narrative. Really. It's easy to make it up.
So that means Lou's right.
But then again, you've got on the other hand, Alex Jones made up a bunch of shit and terrorized a bunch of people.
Well, he went on, like I say, he went on a limb for some things because, you throw enough shit up against the wall, something's going to stick. And it's nice to have the story before everybody else, too. I mean, that, he's about that. But he generally got a lot of stuff right, which is scary.
He was saying, that the people were actors and that were living in these houses with all these dead kids. And I got a friend of mine that's good friends with one of the families, and their child is dead. It's not fake. So he was pushing a lot of that stuff. It was like, that's crazy stuff.
That was really out of line, I believe. But so a lot of stuff you couldn't believe in came true. And I'm not trying to be like him. I'm just saying nobody's talking about it because nobody's thinking that. How could that be a false narrative? Why would they do all this for that? For what reason? Well, we just got an answer. With the AOI MSG, there's not going to be any transparency. There's your answer. Lou even told us. He said, "Hey man, don't count your chickens before they're hatched because it's not official yet." He said that. He said, we're trying to get this office with transparency, and these 5 observables are going to be used to bring transparency. And once a year, annually, we're going to go to Congress with whatever it is we find. And now they just had the rug pulled out from underneath them, as what's his name just said. And of course, he knew all along. He knew it.
He said it.
He knew it because he knew it. But he has to act like he's on our side to get people to look this way while they do everything over here. That's what it's about, man. It's total Richard Doty bullcrap all over again. It never ends. Ufology is very sensitive. Aliens would be a way bigger story than China and the Tic Tac. I'm telling you right now, aliens would be the all-time thing. So don't think it's beyond them to create a disinfo campaign to get us not thinking about China having these weapons.
Okay, so does that mean that most UFOs that are out there are possibly just craft from here?
No.
Yeah. Let me tell you, 85, 86% of the sightings around the world are from the United States.
I mean, so
North America.
and I'm going to disagree here. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know, if you go back and you look at any of the work that Jacques Vallée did, like with Wonders in the Sky, where they went through archives of libraries over in Europe and found these old accounts of these bizarre flying craft. I mean, whatever it is has been around for a long time. But I think everything that we're putting up there now, our technology, is muddying and confusing the whole thing. You know, because there probably is some high-tech stuff out there that we have no idea what it is.
I agree with that.
But the UFOs are still here. They're still flying around and they're still doing stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, but when are we going to get any video of? We haven't seen anything, Scott. Nothing.
And I agree. The 3 clips that were released first are garbage.
Yeah.
The stuff that Jeremy Corbell released is garbage.
Disinfo.
I mean, you're talking about a military that has some of the best imaging equipment in the world, and we're seeing these blurry videos.
Northrop Grumman has just released on one of their blogs, haven't they? Pretty much pouring oil on the whole thing, which is fascinating in itself. Northrop Grumman, you know, the military contractor.
Oh yeah.
They just put a blog post up, just being very, very plain, saying we're unlikely to be invaded. They take it seriously, but it's got to remain secret. That kind of thing, you know, and very much. I mean, it's fascinating because Elizondo talks about materials and technology and stuff like that. And what have we seen the biggest advance in recently? Well, it's stealth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's all. That's Northrop Grumman basically. The B is it the B2? The B2 is like $700 million, and they upscaled it, and they're now $2 billion a unit.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
2 billion a unit, and you're telling me that they're not putting some serious tech into those things.
Yeah. And yet we just get FLIR footage of stuff because they're never going to show us anything. And I say never. Well, not my lifetime anyway.
Yeah, mine neither.
Yeah.
You see, I have a healthy distrust for any UFO, but also in my mind, if it is an extraterrestrial species that's been visiting this planet, and let's say it has been visiting it for thousands and thousands of years, surely they would have the tech. And why would they even show themselves? Why would they even bother? I have that classic belief from Star Trek. Scott, do me a favor, mate. Just mute yourself while you've got the bleed. I have this almost that Star Trek. What do they call it? The prime directive, that a species that is way more advanced would not be allowed to interact with a species, especially like us, that is on the brink of maybe doing something in the next 300 years to 200 maybe as it's going at the moment. But you know, we've been stuck very much on just rocket engines for, you know, the past, how long has it been now?
100 years, give or take. 1908, right?
But it seems like now we possibly could be shifting a little bit forward.
Nope.
You don't believe that, okay?
No,
But
because they want to exhaust all fossil fuels before they give us the technology, because there's so much money in gas and oil. To just change everything would cost trillions of dollars just to create the infrastructure to build anti-gravity devices or free energy devices. Would cost a lot of money that they don't want to spend, especially all that gas and oil would go to waste. But they're not thinking long term. You know, they're not
because if we
thinking.
get out there, we've got a lot more gas and oil, put it that way. Thank
We've
you,
got
Jackie.
probably another 100 years easily of gas and oil and under America.
I mean,
we have the largest deposit.
I find this fascinating in as much as if somebody does behind the scenes have all the answers to our energy problems and it's just sat there waiting to be reproduced and used, who's to say that they can't just centralize that just the same as they centralize our gas and our electricity at the moment? You know, all they need to do is swap a power station out for an alternative process and they charge us just the same.
Right. That's what I said. Just charge us for how much time we're using it for.
Yeah.
You know? You're exactly right. But
Okay,
it's
so do you
thousands
believe
of energy stations, not just one. It's thousands. Well, we don't know how it works. So does the energy have to go from one station to another? The reason we have all these power stations so there's no overloading going on and you can disperse it in different directions. It may be a lot easier than that, Rich. You're probably right.
Do you believe we actually have it, though?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I don't think we perfected it. I'll tell you that. That's what I think.
I know Stephen, Mr. Dr. Greer has spoken about it quite often, saying, you know, that we've got that technology, we're just choosing not to use it because of these big companies. But
I like proof.
Yeah, which is something he never provides.
You can just say it anytime. Yeah, we also have, those Star Wars lightsabers, but we're not going to use them.
My big suspicion is that they haven't got much at all in terms of anything working. They've probably spent a stupid amount of money. They've probably broken the law so many times it's just untrue, and they realize that if anybody found out how much money they squandered, maybe even how much laws they've broken in terms of getting hold of black money by illegal means to fund these projects and stuff like that, they've probably bent things all over the place, and that's why they can't come clean about it.
Oh, they're gangsters, man.
You should never attribute to malice what can easily be attributed to stupidity, because it's probably the latter and not the former.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of big companies have broken a few laws to become big companies. But Scott, do you believe that we have this technology? Do you think that we're hiding this tech? Yeah, like free energy.
Like I'm gonna go along the same lines as Rich. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of power in, fossil fuel companies. I mean, they are super powerful. I mean, if we invented it, what are we gonna do? Just one day say, okay, oil companies, we're not gonna buy your stuff anymore. We don't need it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if we have it or not.
Because what are you going to say, Rich?
Well, they would have to assimilate. I mean, they would have to put everything in working order the same time that we're running fossil fuels, just build the stations next to those. And when they're ready, they just turn it on, just like they do with 5G and all the towers for the phones and all that stuff. It's a gradual changeover.
I just, when it comes to these big companies, you would think it would be those companies that are the energy companies, that those would be the companies that would be looking into this tech. Now, we say that, well, it won't make them as much money, but surely building whatever devices it takes to give this clean energy. I mean, I would pay as much for clean energy as I pay for energy that's for for the gas, the fuel. I'd pay as much money for it if they said, well, this is clean, but we're going to charge this for it. I'd pay for it. If I thought it was saving the planet. We talk about global warming and all that. If they want to, if they've made it, they can charge what they want for these devices and to maintain these devices. So, but again, once they've made that device, if it is a device that can self refuel itself or whatever it does to just keep lasting, maybe that would put them down a few billion a month. So maybe that is it. We have a selfish, as human beings, we are very selfish, and that's probably the problem. The person behind the pedal is not wanting to do anything to do with it.
Yeah, one point I want to make is, so my brother lives about 3 miles from here, and he has a solar farm on his land. He leases the land to them, and they built a giant solar farm there. And we got in a discussion one day, and the old coal-powered fire, coal plants that generated electricity, they were heavy with the maintenance. They would have to have teams of guys that would do the maintenance on these generators and all of this stuff. But with a solar field, there is virtually almost no maintenance. Now there is some, but it's nothing compared to what it was. And the promise was, we've got probably a dozen around this area, giant solar farms. And we were promised that when these solar farms came in, our electricity bills would come down. Not only have they not, but they've risen. Right. So you're taking something that's free and you're selling it to people, and then you're raising the price on that. And the electric bills around here are insane. So, how does that all, I got another guy that lives just another probably 2 miles from here, powers his whole house with solar, doesn't use any electricity at all from any electric company, sells the extra back to the company. But there's been cases, I believe, some in Europe, where people have built units to power their whole house and gone off the electrical grid, and they've been arrested. They've stopped them from doing that. That, technology should be available to anyone who wants to power their own house. And if you've got the money to do it, you should be able to do it. You shouldn't have to be locked into this grid where you're paying these people money for free sunshine. I just don't agree with it at all.
Jennifer, thank you for the $5. And yeah, when it comes to creating a lot of these things, it affects the. Look at lithium batteries for a start. Those things are going to be around for a hell of a long time. There's a lot of them now because of Mr. Musk, who I love very dearly. But thank you, Jennifer. I don't think we're ever going to get out of this. It feels like to me, it always feels like we're going to be in a world of where we're fueling up at the petrol station
for another 100 years or so. Yeah.
So you don't think that Tesla's that dream's ever going to come true? Because it does seem that.
Yeah, but to make a freeway work perfectly, or any street or any whatever, it's nearly impossible at this time. They could possibly do it, but if something rolls out into the street or falls out of the sky, that car's not going to be able to react the way a human would, I think. I'm not sure, man. I just don't like it. I really don't. I think you should be controlling your own vehicle at all times.
Rich below me, Rich. you in the UK here, am I right by saying? 'Cause I mean, I've got a diesel and I've got a petrol. I've got a diesel and a petrol car, but the diesels are being phased out in the. I don't know what it's like in the States, but we're phasing them out. Is it by 2040? We're phasing the diesel out altogether.
Yeah, it's something like that, definitely. And not only that, they're wanting to move on to electric vehicles as well.
Yeah, I heard that. But do
They
you
want to
think
stop
that's going to
selling
happen?
them by something like 2030, wasn't it? So 2040. What do I think about electric vehicles? Electric vehicles are more damage to the earth to manufacture than a traditional car. And I think it's something like it takes 7 years for it to save the amount of CO2 that they use to manufacture the car, but the life of a battery is only 8 years. So you don't get much trade-off in terms of that compared to a normal car. But obviously, we're just moving the chairs around on the decks of the Titanic, if you know what I mean. We are causing an impact somewhere every time we do things, and I don't think we've got all the answers. I really don't. But we're trying, aren't we? You know,
We're
we've
trying.
got to try.
Baby steps, mate.
Mm.
But that's it. I mean, it doesn't seem long since the electric car has been practical. It seems now almost like it's practical. I mean, some of those Teslas can go 400 miles before they even need a charge now.
And 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds.
Yeah, well, I mean, forget the speed. The speed's great. I mean, the acceleration of one of those things is always going to kill anything.
It's just showing the advances that they've made. It used to be 0 to 60 in 12 seconds.
It does make you think, though, because when I was a kid, they used to have milk floats, and you used to have your milk delivered, and they had these electric carts, and they take the milk all over the place. And if we'd have just kept on that path of developing electricity from that point onwards, how brilliant would our cars be now? It's
If we'd have just rolled with it.
Yeah. If we'd have just kept going.
And the guy who got killed for his hydrogen car, just a couple of ounces of water, go 200 miles or something in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
When you say got killed, Rich?
He got killed. He got murdered. They took him out.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't remember how, but it was under super suspicious. I think he was on the way to go deliver the patents or something. I don't know. It was something stupid like that.
They whacked him, Rich?
They did. Yeah, you can probably look it up. I mean, it's not hard to find.
I mean, even Bob Lazar had a go at making a car running on hydrogen.
Yeah. 60 miles on an ounce of water.
So do we think that any of this stuff that we're using now came from anything to do with the supposed alien crashes? Because you said something on your show the other night, Rich, you said that we'd have advanced anyway because we were already doing it. We already had computers. We were doing those advances. Do you think that any of this sort of stuff came from them?
No.
Not even Velcro.
Velcro, yeah, for sure. No.
So you think this is just the natural progression of us? They have not intervened with anything when it comes to our tech. We've just.
I don't know 100%. I'm just going to say that, but I don't see anything magical other than touching a screen, on my phone or tablet. That is cool, but we would have had that anyway. We were already working on lasers. I don't know. You tell me. Tell me, what do you see around you that could have come from alien technology? Tell me.
Nothing.
Thank you. Next, who else? Nothing.
Well, you talk about lasers. One of my ex-Tai Chi students was it. I think he still is a lecturer at Manchester University, and he lectures on laser technology. And I think if it had come from a dubious source, he would have told me by now.
Yeah. Right. We would have heard it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fiber optics. Everybody say fiber optics. All right. Yeah. Okay. You want to say fiber optics? Okay. Well, and what else? I mean, fiber optics was interesting. I like fiber optics. I don't know much about how it works, but that seems magical to me in a way. It could be reverse engineered alien tech, maybe. I don't know. But when you look at the whole thing, I mean, if that's all we can come up with, then we ain't doing a good job. Or we just can't. The technology's too advanced.
I mean, if we put it on a scale and we say, I get in a time machine and I take a cell phone back to medieval days and I give it to one of them and say, okay, I want you guys to figure this out. I mean, we have to look at it that way, that if it's an advanced technology, our egos are so big that people, you know, they go around tweeting and writing that we're going to back engineer this alien technology. I mean, we wouldn't even begin to understand that stuff. We wouldn't. And if we do have parts, they're probably still trying to figure out what it is. You know, it's just, I don't think it's happening.
And I think what further muddies the waters is when you have these speculative things with the military, where they work with people like Salvatore Pace, is it? That the chap that had some patents made by the Navy, and they did some limited testing on his theories, and none of it worked. But of course, those patents are still available for people to read, and people go, "Oh, they must be working on something." And no, when you really look at them, they don't make sense.
I mean, are any of you guys into the whole Bette Sphere thing?
Bette Sphere, sorry.
Do you remember the anybody remember the Bette Sphere?
Of course I do.
Yes.
Where the Navy came in and they took that thing, and they said when it was returned, it was never the same. But this thing was that.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that thing?
Yeah, I remember. It was.
It vibrated apparently and all sorts of things. I mean, there was never any that I saw proof of it, but I mean that was way back. What was it? Was it in the 60s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Didn't it respond to their reactions?
Yeah.
And stuff?
Yeah.
It was really like it was alive.
Yeah, but the Navy apparently they came in to take that, to analyze it, and the family said when they got that sphere back, they got a sphere back, but they didn't get that sphere back. It was never the same sphere.
They lobotomized the damn thing, probably, doing all sorts of tests on it with magnets and throwing it into all sorts of situations.
Or is that just another story?
I don't know.
That was all just implemented into our lives. The family, the Navy, all of it. It kind of, I'm not going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go conspiracy, but it kind of feels now that this whole subject has been planned out from day one. And I'm talking about the Roswell incident. I'm talking about little things like the Bette Sphere, all the little tiny little Easter eggs, everything, all of it, even the fake people, the Billy Myers, all this. It almost seems like we're supposed to have this. It's supposed to be in our lives. There's a big reason for this subject, which is ufology. That we will never be able to put our fingers on it. There'll be. I reckon there's probably a handful of people in this world that actually know the real reasons for what is actually going on. But it really does feel like now, if we don't come together, and with the whole thing that hashtag UFO Twitter, just chill out, listen to other people for once. Don't jump down somebody's neck if you disagree with, nobody's right here. We don't have answers. We don't pretend to have the answers. We just want to have an open discussion. But this subject, there is something very sinister about it. And I think it's, I always thought it was something very exciting. And I think, Giordano, Rich, I think it feels weird saying that, but I've got two Riches down here. I think you're right. It's scary. It feels almost like it's becoming a scary subject because there's a reason why it's there. We are not nuts. We are not nut jobs. They are speaking about this. We've got people like Barack Obama that's going on and laughing on a talk show, then saying yes, we do it. We don't know what they are. Blah 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 blah. There's a reason for it though. There's a reason for all these little bits of candy that we're being gifted. But you know what I say? Don't accept candy off a stranger. I know he's not a stranger, but he's just weird. It's just very, very, very odd.
I get the impression that if all of this is happening as we think it is, we're just being observed. They don't particularly wouldn't want to want us to know that they're there, and it might be that as soon as we improve our sensor data, they take a look and they go, oh, they've got sensor optical now, we're going to have to go up a level, and all they do is go up a level and we won't be able to see them again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, always chasing them.
I agree with that.
It's
I agree.
interesting. Yeah. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to get in trouble here, but I don't care. What if we're wrong? What? And I keep saying this. What if we're wrong and we have been wrong from the beginning of what all this is about?
Do you know what? I know this sounds daft, but I've had plenty of people taking the mickey out of me because of this. I'm quite used to it. I'm quite used to being at the
Family members, friends.
Oh yeah. I'm quite used to being the thin end of the wedge with all of this and the butt of people's jokes. I don't think it will change much to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm prepared to be wrong. I know what my beliefs are and what I think the facts are.
But Rich,
yeah,
just as an outsider and this is why I like having you on, because I like to hear somebody who is just somebody who just loves the subject, that doesn't have a channel, that has nothing to gain, that just likes to put your voice across. Has your attitude changed from when you first got into this?
Yeah, it has. I'm less willing to accept one view of it all. I'm also a lot less. I would say I've got a lower opinion of the capability of the military and people and things generally. And this is not because it's just because I thought people were capable of more than they are, if you know what I mean. It's very, very easy to look at everything around you and think that everything is all connected. We can have correlation, but it's not necessarily causation. You can go on you can find any channel on YouTube that will say, oh, you've got some secret cult running the world or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And they can say, oh, numbers, linked events in history, and all of these people are behind it and all this lot. You can have correlation but not causate. It doesn't mean that it's causing it, and that to me is the thing. once you break this idea that there is some huge conspiracy going on in your head, and that it's down to individual actions and general disorganization with different people with different ideas trying to make sense of it all with their own agendas, you know. And you can kind of see it with what's happening with disclosure at the moment with the small d, and that's because you've got various factions all over the Pentagon disagreeing about what they should be doing with this. And you've got one part of you've got the senators producing astro and saying, oh, this is a really, really good idea to get UAPs under political control. And then all of a sudden the DOD come up and they say, okay, we've got AIO MSG. And what's that going to do? That's going to be like a great big condom that they're going to wear to make sure that they can't give the information that's secret out to everybody else. Do you know what I mean? And this is the end of the day. You've got lots of little people, and they're all scheming. It's not. There's not some great big control going on.
Do you actually think is that we are on the verge of a disclosure then? As such, if we've not had that little bit that is a disclosure already back in June, 5 months ago.
I think we're at a precipice at the moment. We're at a precipice where the military they don't want to go down that route. And what they want to do is shut the door and say you're on your own. We're not going to share anything. We might give you some little tidbits, or we might let you have some of our sensor optical data going forward or something like that, but we're not going to get anything historic out of the military. And I think the problem is, how can we wrestle the capability of finding these things out of the military hands? If we can do that, then disclosure will happen. But don't think that you're going to get access to anything from the past, because I think the only way that you could do that is by force. And I think if we ever came to that, they would destroy whatever they had first. They would cover it. They would get rid of all the evidence, if there is any.
Scott, what about you? Do you think we're on the do you feel like it's tickling us yet?
I don't. I always felt that I think disclosure will come from us, and to trust someone to give you this truthful information, trust this institution that's been deceiving you for decades about all kinds of things. To expect some truth from them is it's preposterous. It would be the most important thing to mankind ever, that there was something else out there that was intelligent, that was interacting with us. That's the last thing they're going to do for us. They're just, if there's any kind of gain for them for, to maybe use some of this technology, if they can figure it out with military applications, they're never going to tell us about that. They're never going to do it. I mean, we may see it, in a military battlefield, decades from now. I mean, and just, I don't know. I don't think disclosure is even a thing. They've talked about it for decades and decades, and it's just, I just don't think it's ever going to happen. But Ollie, I got to step out.
No worries, mate. No worries. I mean, it's a short show anyway tonight, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I've got to get ready for Erica's show, so I got to look at a couple things. So thanks for having me.
I appreciate the join, mate. I appreciate it.
And nice meeting you, Rich.
Nice meeting you, Scott.
And I will, I'll be back again. Thanks, Ollie. I love the shows.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Keep doing what you're doing. All right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Bye-bye.
Rich, the problem I have with all of this is if they wanted to disclose this, and I'm not talking about the government or the military, whoever in the world has the finger on the trigger when it comes to controlling us. Surely, if the actual extraterrestrials looked at us and thought, well, their governments, the people that are running them don't want them to know about this, but we can just, we could just show up.
Mm.
We could just show ourselves to all of them. If what a lot of the conspiracy theorists are saying that, that there's reasons why they held it back from us because, they're either selfish or there's dangers there or whatever. If the aliens actually looked, would it either bad or good or whatever, they would do one or the other. They would see through our bad governments, or they would see through, or they would just not give a shit and go, well, we're gonna fuck you over, or they would just say, you know what, you've got bad people running your world. We're just gonna show yourself, and we're just gonna. I kind of feel like that would happen if.
Yeah. If I'm looking out on the Earth, if I'm separate from the Earth and I've been observing humanity generally, I think the last thing I would want to do is upset things too much. I may disagree with the leaders and the rulers of the world, but they still
It's
have
our rules.
It's our rules, and they have huge capability. Would they want to start wars on the planet? Consider what we did for the French Revolution. If we all of a sudden did that because of aliens, it's not something that I would want to do. I would just want to keep humanity as ignorant as possible, and we can just monitor them.
I'm doing
Yeah.
devil's advocate here. I'm speaking from both ends of the sticks. If the aliens wanted to intervene because really the people who are running the show are really bad people, and they're holding us back from a lot of things, then even then would that whole prime directive thing, I'm in the same ballroom as you. I don't think they would. But
No.
I want you to see where your thoughts are with that.
Well, consider what's happened in Afghanistan, where America and a coalition of the UK and a couple of other countries went into Afghanistan because we didn't like the leadership, and we took it over, and we tried to make it better, and then when we left, look what's happened.
Very good point. Very good point. I mean, a civilization that's 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years ahead of us, playing with fire. They're playing with fire. Yeah. I wouldn't trust us with their tech.
And there's a big popular trope on the internet, and that is that people say, oh, when the aliens come, they'll give us technology, and it'll be some kind of utopia and things like that. I love this assumption that people think that they're going to want to give us everything, like cures to cancer and all the other stuff. They wouldn't. Why would they want to make a species dependent upon them? They don't. Who would want to foster dependence? It's not good. It's not good for the species, because then they get lazy and they want handouts all the time.
So
No.
they're not here to help us. They're just here to
I don't
observe.
know. Aliens are Republicans. I don't know.
Rich, you're back.
No, I'm not here.
What I'm trying to say is that it doesn't help a civilization by helping them too much, does it? You're fostering a dependency.
No, I agree. That's if they're here at all.
If they're here at all, yeah.
If they're here, Rich, what do you think as a fellow YouTuber that has a channel that it's got let's face it, it's got an audience of alien lovers and UFO lovers. What do you think we can do differently to coast the field in the right direction? Because when it comes to I'm not just talking about YouTube, but what can we do? What in terms of our responsibilities?
Nothing.
Because you spoke about what have you tried?
The only thing I can do, and the only thing any of us can do,
you spoke about
talk.
the big. You said the very left. Totally left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm man in the middle. I'm always a middle. I'm the middle guy. A middle guy. I don't take sides.
You never do, yeah.
No, but I don't think you do. You're not. You're neither left or right. I
go with what makes sense. That's what I do. I'm neither left or right either, but I do choose a side.
Because the
and
title
you're
of this,
asking me what we can do.
I'm asking you because
what can you do?
The message that you sent me tonight is that people are giving you some shit.
Really?
Yes, the road less traveled, because it's the right road, I believe. And when you have a record of being right about a lot of things and everybody's wrong, you should at least, have some people to believe in you, you would think. And it's not as much. I don't have 80% of Twitter on my side. Okay, they're 80% of Twitter, that side. They're the ones that run Twitter. You know it. Everybody knows it. So what am I supposed to do? Go to Rumble? Go where nobody will do anything. Everybody's just talk, but nobody does anything because it's lopsided. So anytime I speak up, I get shit on for it.
What is the view?
And they hope I go away, huh?
Okay, this person that hopes you go away, these people, okay, and it's probably they probably think the same about me. What is their viewpoint when it comes to this field?
Their viewpoint is that Lou is doing everything he can to bring disclosure.
Okay, forget Lou. What is their viewpoint on the field?
They don't talk about their feelings. They just talk about right or wrong.
So they're following a leader.
Yes, they're very weak that way. They are the do as I say, not as. And I'm sorry if anybody's on that side. Has nothing to do with anything personal. I mean, this is all about actions, and actions speak louder than words. And I'm seeing a lot of actions and not a lot of words. I see hateful shit, but just because you have an opinion, they are saying, go away. We don't care what you have to say.
So I want to know, take Lou out the equation. But for them.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know what they believe. What is it that you are saying or that I'm saying that is so wrong about this field?
Nothing. We're just saying the opposite of what they're saying. And I said it today. I said you're not going to see any Lou is not going to bring you disclosure. He never was. And they got mad at that.
So what has he done in order to gain that much trust? Because I'm sorry.
Let me tell you what he's done. He's done shit, Ollie. He's done nothing. He got people who can put them on TV, and once you're on TV, you're credible. Okay? You can't prove ATIP. I mean, it existed, but it's hard to prove the guy even worked there. Okay, Lakatsky of OSAPs even knows he worked there. But they didn't have the funding. They didn't deal with the public. They had nothing that OSAP had. So what did ATIP do? Nothing. Lou left. It faltered. He brought ATIP to TTSA and all their evidence that they had apparently, I never saw it, and then he's brought the threat narrative. And that is it. The aliens are a threat. We need to talk about this because we don't understand it. Talk about what? Well, here's 3 videos of things that were approved by the Navy for me to show you. What are we looking at? Fuzzy FLIR video. Nothing. So it's an illusion that people believe. And that's it.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. Lou isn't doing anything for me.
Sorry. If that's the case, and he has this and he is literally there being put into the woodworks, who's his target audience? Who was his target?
His target was the general public. He wanted the what?
Not the people that was already into this subject.
Right. And the reason for that is because the general public doesn't know the truth. And when I walked around Santa Monica Pier and asking people, do you know what a UAP was? Nobody knew. Everybody was like, oh, we're going to war with aliens. And that was the impression he gave to people. So you ask the public, they don't know. They think we're going to war with aliens because of the threat. That's all they saw. I'm telling you. People need to do research and ask other people that aren't their friends. Just cold call people. I don't know, man.
You've done a little bit of that.
I know.
It is fascinating though, because this side of the argument doesn't want to argue. That's the whole thing. They just don't want you to speak. And that's what they try to do. I've seen the behavior of a few people on Twitter, and they tend to not want to discuss anything. They'll just go to the mods and have you thrown out or shut down. That's how the internet's working at the moment, and it's really sad. And I hope that doesn't happen to you, Rich, because what you bring to the discussion is really valuable.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Well, I appreciate that, but Twitter isn't doing anything for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Twitter. I hate Facebook. Hate it.
Like, come off it.
Huh?
Why don't you just come off it?
I take what I can because that's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm joking there, because sometimes one tweet can get you a few extra people to your show. Yeah, every little helps, as they say. I honestly, I'll never get UFO Twitter though. I will never get Twitter. It seems I'm on it, but there's so much hostility there's so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much of it. I don't get it. I just chill out, people.
It's cortisol.
You have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to this field, because none of us do. We're just guessing.
Yep. Well, don't tell them that. Lou's doing it all. I'm telling you, the reason I keep mentioning Lou, because that's what they look up to. When Mick West debunks stuff and does a very good job of it, like the Boca, they were getting mad at him. I mean, totally getting mad at this guy for doing a nice thing and explaining what it isn't and what it really is. And it's just a thing on the lens or in front of the lens or whatever. It's amazing to me how mad they get. And I don't know, man. It just amazes me that they don't want... Nobody likes their dream ruined. They believe the aliens are the aliens. Those 3 videos are legit. And there's nothing you can do to sway them.
Why don't you invite them?
Why don't I invite them?
Yeah, just
I
just,
have.
no,
They
just
don't
a-
come on.
just a video called #UFO Twitter. Join me. Get them on.
That's a good idea.
Sit them down. You know, Rich, boots on the ground, just chilled out, Rich. You know, maybe have a little bit of a munchie, whatever it is you do, and just say, this is why I am. Like, lay down the history, lay down when you started, lay down the facts, lay down the fiction, and tell them what's going on. Educate them. You've educated them on Twitter in an argument. There's a difference between you addressing something in a face-to-face civilized manner, which I believe you could, and I believe you could do well.
Of course I can. I've invited UFO Jesus to come on. He's the biggest mouthpiece for Lou on Twitter. He didn't even get back to me.
No, but he likes you.
He doesn't like me.
He does. He's every so often he comments.
He never does.
He has.
He has never once made a comment about me.
He has.
Not once.
On my show, he has. When you were on, he was in the chat.
That wasn't the real dude.
Was he? Is he that famous that he has a fake person?
I had a fake person. I'm not that famous.
Have you got a fake GUFON?
There was somebody who faked GUFON, yes, and I told them to stop it.
Even the same logo.
Yeah, remember?
How did they get the logo?
Because you can easily make a logo. You can make a Jeremy Corbell logo. It doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't,
Yeah,
They
I've
just-
seen Corbell being copied, yeah. I've seen Corbell copied. He dropped in your DMs a while ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he got banned.
Yeah, he did.
I banned him.
Rich band can you imagine? It might have been the real one for all I know.
I don't think so.
Probably not. I did have the original one. I think it was 2 years ago because he emailed me from his. It
was about a year or so. I was mad at you.
Yeah, he came from. Well, he emailed me.
I know.
I
know.
He asked for my mobile number. I gave him it, and then nothing came out of it. And all I was doing is I spoke a little bit about Bob Lazar in a video, and he said, I need to correct you on a few things. Love your show, by the way. Blah 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 blah. Let's have a chat. Send me a number. Sent me a number. Nothing. Strange. Very protective over.
He's a joke.
Over Lazar.
I think I'm going to call him again on a live show.
You should do that.
Yeah, still have his number.
You should name the show. I'm going to call you Jeremy Corbell.
That would be amazing.
Live.
Look at you coming up with good ideas. That's a great idea. Nothing. It's not illegal. It's just a phone call.
Yeah, just the name of the calling Jeremy Corbell live.
Just
Oh
make sure
God.
you tell him he's being recorded.
You don't have to. It's a one-party state. I'm in that state. I don't have to tell him shit.
Really? It's
Yeah.
a different law than it is over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as
Tell
one
people they're
party of the
recording.
two knows there's a recording, you don't have to disclose it to them. I'm the recorder. I know. But I did it anyway, Rich. I told him when I called him, by the way, you're live now. Before we even got into the discussion, took him a second. He's like, what? What do you mean? What? I'm like, I'm doing a YouTube show. We're on live. Somebody put up your phone number. I didn't believe it. I called it. You answered. And here we are. Wait, what? I'm like, dude, are you fucking stupid? Sorry, Ali, I don't mean to swear, but that guy deserves it.
I can't believe
I'm
you said it. I don't mean to swear on this show.
I know. Lee's not here. He usually does take the F words up. Where is he, by the way?
Lee is on his work
Retreat?
He's on his
Huh?
work do. He's on his he's messaged me tonight. He's in a sushi restaurant eating I can't remember, some sort of fish, some sort of raw fish. Shark. I think he was eating raw shark. Yeah, he was eating raw shark. I told him not to touch the octopus because I said that would basically be like, I won't eat octopus anymore. This is the truth. This is the thing. Octopus was one of my favorite foods. I will not eat it anymore. And
Wow.
it's because I saw a video on YouTube of this guy that took an octopus out of a dried up rock pool and put it into the sea, and the octopus comes back and it wraps its little tentacles around his foot to say thank you. It does come back. But have you seen those things? They are so intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a documentary out there where a guy became friends with one.
Yep.
The most amazing thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
I won't eat them or dolphins. No.
And there are theories though that octopuses are some kind of completely different genus from the rest of the planet. They're completely different.
So somebody said they were aliens.
They could be.
Yeah.
Why not?
They are unreal.
Origin,
they are unreal.
I think they're kind of cute, actually, man. I feel bad for them.
Yeah. No,
I feel bad for anything. I feel bad for everybody.
Well, let's just face it. I mean, anything that's not us, we either ride it, eat it, or
fuck it.
You know, not an octopus. That would be very strange, but
painful.
Some people might enjoy it. But yeah, the animals have a real hard time with us. You know, we are we're not nice.
We don't give them a good ride, do we?
No, we don't. But yeah, people, if you are in the chat and you do like octopus, you might want to leave that thing alone and look into that species a little bit more before you eat another one of them. God, they taste amazing, but yeah, I won't eat another one ever again. No. But Rich, we have been going 2 hours tonight, and I'm up early in the morning for my little boy's birthday.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
How old is he now? 6?
He's 6, yeah. He's 6 years old.
Man.
6 years old. He's not into UFOs yet, though.
I know him half his life now.
You have? You have indeed. Yeah. What's your show going to be? Oh, you're interviewing Paula. Paula Asteria.
Yeah.
And you've changed your thumbnail because you had too much Paula in there.
There was like, a lot of close-ups. I was trying to go with who is a Paula and have 3 different kind of looks, but they all kind of look the same. And I just went with the smaller picture. But yeah, she'll be on. It'll be a really good interview and we've been chatting back and forth what we'll probably talk about. So I'm excited for what's going to happen tonight in a couple of hours.
You should get her on, Rich.
Huh?
You should invite her on one day when you come on An Alien Addict. Get her on. She's great.
On here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't swear.
Oh no! I mean, she's down, man. I don't know. I don't know if she would, but next time I'll ask.
Why wouldn't she?
Because she's very busy.
Is she busy with Linda still? She's still doing the. She's done a few Linda
She's
interviews.
done a couple of Linders, a couple of Dr. David Greer. No, but she's just, she's an actress and a model. She lives in Hollywood, and I know she was busy all week. I was very lucky to get her tonight because she worked every day this week. But other than that, I'll talk to her tonight about it.
Is that what she's doing then? Is she a model, actress, and YouTuber?
She was on She was
all
on
the entertainment business, all of it.
Yeah, she was in a couple of popular TV shows, small roles, things like that. But
good on her.
Commercials and modeling, and
she's good though. She's good. She speaks well. She's a good job.
She's
head screwed on.
Yeah. She's cool, man. She's just down with it. She goes with the flow. And, I met her when we were in California and we hung out. I really think she's... people judge by the way you look, unfortunately, and they don't think a girl that's attractive can have brains or any type of smarts. That was the vibe I was getting today from people. It was pretty rude, and it kind of made me feel a little bad, which is why I changed the pictures a little bit, not to plaster her on there like, a model, an actress,
yeah,
and
you
ufologist.
Said that to me. You said, no.
I know, but I'm just reiterating because it makes me mad. But anyway, she'll be on tonight. We'll be explaining a lot of stuff. She's got a cool couple of stories. It'll be a 90-minute interview, fast and furious.
That's what I like.
Mhm.
Fast and Furious.
We're getting
Not the
down
f-
tonight.
Not the films.
I
Though
don't mind the films.
the first ones were good, but when Paul passed away now,
Yeah.
just keep.
It's not the same.
Well, even before I passed away, if I'm honest, I liked the first one. After that, they just, there's only so many times you can drive a car fast in a film for me, and and go in between trucks and what have you, and out of aeroplanes.
I know. Jump out of one building and into another. I love that.
If there's aliens in it, I'm down.
Next, you never know. Fast and the Furious.
I tend to only like sci-fi these days. There's something wrong with me.
There's a couple of good shows out there. Hawkeye's pretty good. The guy with the bow and arrow
Not seen it.
from the Avengers.
No.
It's really good.
I know it's
like
green. It's green.
No,
Looks a bit like Robin Hood.
no.
No. Wrong show.
I like the new Dexter. It's a little slow, but I like the
What is it?
acting.
Is that out?
Yeah, it's 5 episodes. The 5th one,
Oh, I don't think we've got that here.
it's on Showtime.
Oh, we don't have
There's
that.
4 episodes.
It'll probably come here next year or something.
Just download the app and get Showtime for $11.
Can
I'm
you get
behind
it?
the curve on all of this. Just can't keep up with it all. I've only just watched the James Bond one.
Skinny Bob. The Skinny Bob.
Oh,
Super
wow.
chat from Skinny Bob. And he's
He-
from the UK. I knew Skinny Bob from the UK. The Skinny Bob. Thank you, Skinny Bob. I appreciate that. Got something just for you, Skinny Bob. There you go. Thank you. That's the wrong one.
he read it real quick.
That's the long one. There you go.
Oh,
Skinny Bob.
That was
Thank
when he
you.
was younger. You look good.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
He grew out of that, apparently. That's
He got
better.
Botox, so his eyes don't blink as much.
Well, I've got Ray Hernandez coming on in the next couple of weeks again to speak about his new book.
Oh.
That should be interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Talks a lot. Can out-talk me. Anybody can out-talk me, though. But, yeah, it'd be good to get him back on. And I appreciate that. Unidentified S4. Beautiful. I thought that was another pound. Cheers, lads. It's all about the lads. No, it's not. It's not all about the lads because women are in ufology as well. But I do appreciate the $1.99. Thank you, my friend. I'm
But
gonna.
where, lads?
We are lads. Yeah,
That's what he's meaning. Yeah.
We are.
No,
the
because
lads.
I went lads like that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like a lads. Yeah. But yeah, I've got. I want to do a little Christmas special as well, Rich. I was speaking to Dark Hour Paranormal, and I want to get you. I want to get you on with Rich. You've seen GUFON, Rich. You've seen Jeff, haven't you, from Ghost Tech Paranormal?
I think so.
The guy who does the ghost hunting in the UK. He's got a good channel.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get
Yeah.
him on with
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
and Dark Hour Paranormal. So then we can have the paranormals, the 2 paranormals, with a bit of a Christmas cheer.
Cool.
Cool. Anyway, I'm not going to flog this dead horse any longer because I'm tired. Rich has got a show to do.
I'll be goo when I'm done.
Guys in the chat, I appreciate everybody who's stuck with the 100 odd people in the chat.
Wow.
I appreciate that because it has been a bit of a weird show tonight because it wasn't going to be the show that I expected to do. I expected to go. Yeah, I expected to do a show with. There was going to be about 6 of us in here tonight, but it kind of all just sometimes happens with live shows.
It's Friday.
But fortunately, I've not been left on my own because that would have probably been a 30-minute video. So I appreciate you all very much. Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. I'm Alien Addict. This is Rich from GUFON. Go subscribe. It is in the description below. And little Rich underneath me doesn't have a channel. He's just here for the shits and giggles. Good night.